That's true.
That's good.
I found that, yes, that is good. That's a nugget, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you caught that. As a matter of fact, say that over again.
The thing that you don't want to do, or the thing that you feel most uncomfortable doing, is probably the thing that's keeping you away from your breakthrough.
Yes, yes. And that's just, it lines up with faith. Because, faith without works, of course, is dead.
Absolutely.
And faith and fear, and I tell people, because, you hear a lot of people say faith and fear don't operate in the same household. But faith and fear are always trying to kick the other one out of the household.
That's right. That's right.
One trying to take over.
That's right.
So, and like you said, in order for us to get out of our comfort zone, we have to take on our challenges.
Absolutely.
Take on our insecurities and even our flawlessness. Not flawlessness, but our flaws in less.
Yes.
and continue pushing forward. And I, from being first started in this company, I've seen how you're so humble, and willing to share with people and bring them to a place to let them know you can do this.
Yeah.
You can do this. Because like I say, this is the first millionaire under 30 that I've ever known. People say, how many millionaires you actually know? You in this business. But I tell them, I say, I know at least personally Miss Stormy Wellington, who brought you into the business.
Absolutely.
Then now I knew you because when they told me how young you was, I was like, wow. You know what I mean? I said, I got to hook this cat up with my son, who's that same age. But yet and still, it's the mindset, like you said. It's what you want out of it, is what you're going to get.
And even though I dropped, in my closing, even though I dropped out of college, mentally I didn't drop out of education.
Okay, good. That's good.
I still went on a 4-year quest to become better. So you spend 4 years in a university in hopes to obtain a degree, right? A piece of paper. You sit in your classes and you learn about whatever it is that is going to lead you to be the best you in that profession. Whereas with me, I dropped out of formal education, but I picked up a 4-year Millionaires Academy.
Okay.
I picked up a 4-year accelerated course to where I was spending 4 years. And in my case, I spent before I broke 7 figures, I had spent 7.5 to 8 years learning my craft and learning from people that were better than me. And so just because you quit your job or just because you drop out of college to pursue this industry, understand if you treat it like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby.
Wow.
If you treat it like a job, it'll pay you like a job. Or pay you like a business, I should say, right?
Right.
And so if you're putting 8 hours in a day, 40 hours a week into this vehicle, you will excel. And so for me, although I dropped out of those American ways to make it and picked up my own, it ended up working for me. It really did. It ended up working for me because I was learning from the teachers that I wanted to change places with. Whereas at a university, I was in business class and I'm learning from a person that doesn't own a business. You teach. But you're teaching me business. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
So coming over and learning from people like the people that have mentored me, that have made 7 figures, I'd rather spend, $300 for a convention, $200 on some personal development,
That's good.
$300 on a flight to go sit with them, to be able to say, you know what, I may not have formal education, but I spent, a third of what I would have spent going to college for 4 years, and now, 8 years later, 7 years later, I'm a 7-figure earner.
Wow.
I kind of have to pinch myself saying that, but and so that's what I will leave everybody with.
So, in lasting, if you had to tell people about being teachable, coachable, and duplicatable, what would your words be?
It's very, very important that you remain humble through this process, that you remain coachable and teachable, because you have to always put yourself in a position, even when I didn't know anything as how to do. Even when I didn't know things, sometimes I would dumb down what I knew because I knew that I needed what that person had.
Wow.
And it's always important that you remain coachable because, hey, you don't have, my brother just dropped off my $500,000 ring, but
$500,000 ring.
If you don't remain coachable, it leaves no room for growth.
Okay.
It leaves no room for growth. So your best thinking has you where you are. And so if your philosophies were sufficient enough, then you would be further along.
Wow.
And so because they're not, you need to borrow the philosophies of people that have achieved more than you have. And you have to put the egos to the side and say, you know what? Clearly what you're doing is working. 20 years later, clearly what I'm doing isn't working. So I'm going to borrow your belief for 6 months. I'm going to borrow your belief for 12 months.
Okay.
And see how it works.
Okay. That's good. Because, you know, a lot of people, they get into businesses, think they're going to make all this money right away. And when they fall into short terms or shortcomings, first thing they want to do is quit.
Right. It's so funny to me. It's so funny, Darryl. It's like people don't want to join get rich quick schemes, but when they don't get rich quick, they quit. We heard that earlier. So it's like, come on, you know, this is a business. This is not a get rich lottery ticket.
Exactly.
This is a, you know, get rich quicker than you typically would. But it's still, you know, anything that you get in that's worth paying you or worth having, there's going to be a sacrifice. There's going to be a commitment that's going to be required from you. And so understanding, you know, this is a process. It's like going to, you know, a college and saying, okay, I went through my first semester, give me my degree.
Right.
No, you go through
Right.
your freshman year, your sophomore, your junior, your senior, right? And that's how you do in this industry. You know, you go through, you know, your freshman year where you're getting used to people, you're getting introduced to personal development.
Yes.
Right? Then your second year, you start making a little bit of money. You know, you start stepping into learning how to develop, you know, leaders around you.
Right.
And then you go into your junior year, and maybe you may hit 6 figures at that time. You make 6 figures, and now, you know, you're traveling around, you're showing people, you're teaching people, you're doing interviews, and then you get to that senior year, now it duplicates because now you've perfected that level of education that's required to get you to where you are. So now you have people that are willing to follow you. Now you can show people how to go through that process.
Wow.
And then when you graduate, now you're worthy of being the teacher. Teachers make the most money. Now you're worthy of being the teacher in this scenario. And now you have tons of students. You have tons of people that you can now show how to make $5, $10, $15, $20, $100,000
Yes.
in a year. And that's where your breakthrough
Where your
comes.
breakthrough comes.
And then for the people that really work, 7 figures is available. 8 figures is available.
Wow.
And so, yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let you know with Mr. Darryl Drake, the youngest millionaire I know.
Yes.
And here with Total Life Changes, and he just dropped some nuggets. I hope you all took some great notes, because you know what? Sometimes it's hard to get hold to this guy, but we're in a conference here in Atlanta, and the humble spirit that this brother has. You know, you see a lot of guys or the TV give you that facade that they're unapproachable. You know, you can't get to them. But I'm telling you, this man, ever since I met him from the first day I got in, he's always been that type of person, that type of brother, that type of mentor that has always opened up his heart and his doors up to me. And I appreciate you, bro.
I want to say, man, you keep doing what you're doing. I've watched you grow. I've watched you excel through the ranks. I've watched you remain humble. I've watched you be inquisitive and learn the things you're doing this. I'm assuming for your team. I know you're doing this for your team, because you could have simply had the same conversation without putting it on camera.
Exactly.
And so I love your humility, and I tell you, I look forward to you, you know, crossing over to that 7-figure
Thank you.
level.
Thank you.
I know you just received your recognition this weekend, and I'm just excited. And I tell you, anybody that's watching this guy knows 100% of what he needs to know, and whatever he doesn't know, he's going to bring it to you by pulling someone to the side that does know it. So this is definitely a guy that's going to the top. Follow him.
Thank you.
Be humble. Remove your thinking, because it only has you where you are. If you're watching this, typically the person that's watching this is sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Amen.
So you're not where you want to be. So
Yes.
follow someone that's making it happen. Follow someone that's connected to 6 and 7 figure earners. Follow someone who's connected to people that are living the dream. Him himself. I know he doesn't talk too much about himself, but he's definitely killing it. And so we look forward to seeing each and every one of you guys at the beach or at the bank. But definitely take charge of your life.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's pretty much it.
Thank you. I really appreciate you, Mr. Drake.
All right.
I'm telling you, all is well.
Yes, yes.
Hey, this brother, follow him. He dropped some fantastic nuggets on my YouTube page and the MLM. I got him speaking, and I'm telling you, the words that come out of his mouth God give babes wisdom. He has a lot of wisdom to give. Thank you.
No problem.
All right.
See ya.
It's all about you with Pastor Darryl J. Holiday.